Anyway, if you have a good thick anti-damp mattress with a silver surface, yes, and you have good sleeping bag, you put on top of that and use another sleeping bag or big thick blanket to wrap yourself, then you'll be okay. Even at 10 degrees, you're okay. Where I live, it could go down to 8 or 6 degrees and a little snow sometimes, but very pleasant. Not a lot of snow, thank God. And I even have sun, so it's okay. So I have enough electricity to work, just to work. Just to work, you have enough. With one battery, you can use it for 2 days even for working on Supreme Master television shows. I use it sparingly, and when I don't need the IT box, I also shut it off. I plan very carefully how to use the electricity. Up to now, it's like that. Of course, you can buy more electricity if you can carry it all in. You buy those big trolleys, open trolley even. It doesn't have to be the shopping trolley. An open trolley and put your things in it, luggage, battery, solar panels, and just wheel it in where you live. Drag it in, pull it in. But you have to know where. You can't live too far from the street. You have to be within walking distance, so you don't have to carry it too far. And you don't have to wait too long for the taxi in the cold, for example, like that. You have to plan it well, okay? You have to know well where you're going, what you're doing, so you don't get lost in the forest either, yeah? Okay. Forests are very benevolent, very welcoming, with very loving arms, very caring, sympathetic energy, beaming, enveloping you and sending it to you all the time. You feel well. It's also the oxygen of it. Yes, of course. It's good for you. One of your brother in Austria said that his younger brother lived in the forest for 5 years. I never asked him how. Maybe I can ask him one day. But I hope you don't copy this lifestyle because it's not suitable for everyone. I also don't know much about how to live in the forest. It's just lucky for me because I know about solar panels and I can afford taxi, buses, and trains. But it's not an ideal life for everyone, okay? Please don't imagine it's all that good and comfortable. It's not. You just have to be resolute and you have to be used to it. You have to be strong in your spirit and spiritual practice as well. It's better even, yeah? I live intuitionally. I don't have much knowledge about the forest. But it's livable, it's good. I'm really happy, okay? I'm really happy. It's just that I work too hard, that's all. That's why sometimes I think of you. You work too hard. And because you follow me and you support my mission, the ideal, the noble ideal of it, and you sacrifice yourself. And I feel very guilty and bad and sympathetic for you also, even though I'm grateful as well, of course. That's why sometimes it flashes into my mind to just stop Supreme Master Television. But I can't do it, at least not yet. And I hope you still continue with me, okay? Because at least we still have a basic comfort, even in my situation. It's just the word karma makes me not very well sometimes, but it's doable, it's workable. By the way, whatever I remember about the forest, I have to tell you before I forget. If you live alone in the forest, you can't just bring anybody there, okay? Strangers, even taxis, they are trustworthy, but you never know. You never know, okay? This world can contaminate anybody and make a good person become crazy, become less than good, or become bad. So if you live alone, you cannot let the taxi go to your place. You have to choose the address nearby, within walking distance. Not too far, of course, and have your trolley ready. And you go with the taxi out, you go with the taxi in, go there only. And put all your things in your trolley. Let the taxi go away first, out of your sight. And you are out of his sight before you begin walking to your direction. Make sure nobody follows you. If somebody follows you, you just stop somewhere, take a rest or hide in a bush or something until they leave. So nobody will know where you live if you live alone, okay? You can also use some pole to hammer it into the ground, like with iron poles or plastic poles. Hammer them into the ground on 4 sides. I just bought some iron fence and put the 4 poles on 4 sides. I mean, outside of your tent, a little bit far away from the tent, like live maybe 30, 50 centimeters away from your tent on all sides. And make to wrap around the tent and wrap it on top of the poles also. So you have a fence all around you. You see? Wrap it around and tie it well. So at least you can avoid some animal people that run into your tent or bite your tent. Okay? Yes. Buy the iron fence or plastic fence. Some are very strong also. Just wrap it around the pole, tie it very well. The pole has to be steady on the ground, very deep, okay? They have those pointed, sharp one end poles, and you use a hammer or big stone to hammer them down. And then you have to also add some poles in the middle of these 4 wood poles to keep the fold in like connected together. Because if just 4 poles are standing, then it might not be strong enough. You have to put another 4 horizontal ones to hold these 4 poles together. Make it at the bottom of the 4 poles and also another one on top of the 4 poles. And the middle is empty. You can come in and out, but you make a door with this fence, connect it with the same fence. And just make a simple door, by attaching the end of that fence to a pole, a small pole, enough for you to tie it and hook it and lock it with a chain. So even if somebody comes for some reason, you can still have enough time to call the police. But it shouldn't be that way anymore, Nowadays, we are safe everywhere. I'm not going to show you what I did or how I did it because every time I show you something, I can't stay there. Last time I show you my little room, and then I had to leave. Any things I told you I eat or what, I had no more appetite for that anymore. Or I couldn't buy them anymore. So I live my life, you live yours. I support you, help you, rescue you, enlighten you. But I can't just keep losing my things. It's not about the things, it's about my safety related to it, I need to take care of my safety, security, so that I can continue to work for you, for the world, okay? I have also other work to do on other planets as well. I'm quite busy and I have to keep myself fit. The karma of the beings, especially human beings, can really flatten you, can really drag you down to a certain extent sometimes. I learned this with all these decades. I should not even go out with taxi or things like that, but I have to. Sometimes I have to. So it just has to be like that.